what does this shift mean for banks? And why do you think now is the right time for an AI first transformation?
So this shift means for banks a great deal because it impacts all the core constructs of bank, starting from customer experience to higher productivity, to risk management, and to strategic levels wherein you can reason with the underlying system to make better products, create competitive advantage for yourself. The shift, it's ubiquitous, it's everywhere. It's just that where to start from. It's an element of cognition. It's an element of wisdom that works on your data, do things for you, sometimes fully, sometimes partially, and then hand over to someone else who can do it. So one, tremendous productivity gains because it's someone else is doing it for you. You doing it faster certainly means translating into customer experience because you're really coming back and doing a lot of instant gratification for your customers. Creating a lot of operational efficiency and hence being a cost advantage position because of this. And finally, the ability to look at a large set of data and have an underlying reasoning with them gives you that insight which wasn't even possible, I guess, 1 year ago, and hence a great competitive advantage.
It's unbelievable how fast this is all moving.
That is absolutely true.
Varun, I want to turn over to you. There are a lot of misconceptions out there about AI in general, but agentic AI. Can you talk through what are some of the biggest misconceptions that banks have when they think about agentic AI, and how can banks move past that hesitation? How do they get everybody on board to move forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, agentic AI systems are built upon generative AI, which is the underlying technology. Now, generative AI by itself does carry some concerns which banks have in terms of hallucinations, in terms of incorrect information, right? So I think it's very important for banks to have this layer of trust built in between, and have trust as a central tenet to any platform, right? So for example, when we built the whole agentic system, we kept trust as a central tenet. So we said, what are the different levels of trust that we can build, starting from the very beginning, which is a deployment model. So banks have concerns in terms of my data going out or models getting trained on my data. So we address that by devising an architecture which is completely in-house based, where even the large language models are deployed locally. So there is a comfort factor for banks saying that, okay, my data is protected, it's not going out, that nobody else is using it. The second is also, how do I trust the output which is coming out of that system? And I think that's a very important point. And what we do over there is we use the bank's own data set and content to train these models. So we do a vectorization, or we train small language models. So what happens is all of this is done on the bank's data, and hence the reliability of the output increases dramatically, right? And the third is when any agentic system is taking an action or giving an output, how do you go deeper into it? How do you find out why this particular decision was taken? What was the data that was referenced? Or even if it's a document based, what was the document, which clause was referenced to take this particular decision? So having that explainability and that deep dive into the process of the agentic system becomes very, very important, right? And of course, on top of it, we have something called an agentic shield, which basically protects users from certain kinds of output like profanity or abusive language. So for banks to set up or build this kind of a system, it's very important for them to go through these 4 layers, understand how their data is being protected, and then start experimenting. But definitely, all of these concerns have solutions, so they should not, kind of wait and watch, or they should not hesitate. They should definitely go ahead and start using these.